Well, I've had a pretty rough 2 weeks, actually. That's why I haven't posted a video. My whole family went through the stomach bug, and then I had like record-breaking allergies, and then got a sinus infection. I'm still getting over that. I sound a little froggy, so not much has been accomplished since then. I was a little nervous to drive back up because I've had conduit and stuff sitting out for like 2 weeks. Luckily, I'm in a spot where I think the neighbors kind of look out for each other, but we're back on site, and we're about to hopefully get all this power and water in the ground and a little bit of dirt on top of it. So I'm just going to set up a time lapse and show you that, and then probably cut in and just give you a few details about what we're using. So right now I'll probably do that. I'm going to take a camera and show you the wire I've got, the situation, what I have to do, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to give you an update of what I've got going on here, show you kind of the details of it. And again, this video is for inspirational purposes and not a video you'd watch on how to do this sort of thing, because I'm not an electrician. I have friends who kind of guide me and lead me through, and everything's different depending on where you live. And so the cable that I've got is this direct burial stuff. And what I've done here is I've bought, so this stuff is $3.63 a foot. And if you add this one wire to it, it's $8 or $9 a foot. I don't understand why, but all my electrician friends said this is what we normally do. And so what I ended up doing was buying, in essence, somebody that did the same thing. You can buy 2 runs of this for cheaper than the other stuff. I guess because it's coiled together and whatever. And they know we have to have that, so they kind of get to you because of it. So I bought, in essence, 2 of these, but I found a guy that wanted to sell, that did what I did and wanted to sell just the neutral and the other hot leg. And so we took the neutral off of it, the 2-aught wire, or however you say that, because aluminum sizes are different. This is 4-aught, 4-aught, 2-aught, and then I'm adding another 4-aught to make it a triplex 4-aught and then a 2-aught, or however you say it, because now they require you to have a means of disconnect before the house, so I guess so the fire department can turn it off or whatever. And so that means you have to ground it. Here's my ground rod, and we actually messed it up. I have to get another piece of copper, but I'm going to reuse that ground rod right there. And again, this is not informational. I'm just showing you what I am doing. Please don't sue me or anything. But we're going to run 2-inch conduit out of that, and I'm probably just going to go direct burial from here on out. This stuff is rated for it. It's going to be incredibly hard. We'd have to do really stupid stuff to get all that through that 2-inch conduit. So you're going to see us do that. I'm going to set up, probably going to set this up and run it wild. I might get the torch out, or we may have to go and get another piece to make the bend, because I'd like to carry it a little ways at least. We'll just see what happens. But I've got to knock this out. We've already had to kill a bunch of wasps and stuff. And then I'll have to go, I haven't got it, but I've got to get some the anti-seize stuff you're supposed to put on there, whatever it is. And then the power company will do their part later. The meter will go up above there. I ran out of space on my phone. I might be about to run out too. Having a hard time with that. I'm just going to show you. I think the last video it stopped me putting the pipe in, but we took and I got everything hooked up. Got my metal bushing, my plastic bushing, and then what am I trying to say here? We ratchet strapped it so that I could get it as straight as I could. I hate when you see them and they're like, woo, way out there. It's annoying. I got that ratchet strap, got some fill on top of it. We're very careful to kind of fill in around in essence, I've got, right here it's just the wire, obviously, but when we got to the part where they meet together, I just zip tied the wire under the pipe and filled it in with dirt. You know, a lot of times they'll ask you, or they'll tell you to do gravel. I don't have any sort of requirement like that, but this should be fine. So we're just kind of getting the first layer covered right now by hand. And then it'll be where it'll have a divot anyway. So I'm hoping to get a skid steer here and kind of level stuff out and do the rest of it when we get to that point. But we're getting close to having most of it covered up. We'll just leave that running wild. So that's what's going on. Well, I've been busy, but none of it's been film worthy. And so let me just kind of give you an update of what is going on. I've been working on this machine quite a bit. And we got all this dug, as you saw. We've been filling it in. I've got access to a skid steer, but it needs new tubes in one of the tires. So that's not helping me much. But I think what I'm going to do, what I've done today, is just, I filled in this where we're going to build on. Here's the side of the house. Here's the porch. Front of the house. Here's the side to the right. And so I've got to look at the plans again to figure out where everything's coming out, pretty close to it, and stand that up, and then fill the rest of this in. I'm not going to do it today because I'm tired, but maybe tomorrow morning I'll come out here and do that. And once I get all that, I'll probably just leave the rest of this how it is. I've got this covered enough to keep it in place. So I did that. Whoa! I was trying to cut down this stump, which has been a pain in the butt, and I got about half of it, and then I ran out of battery. Been picking up all the random little rocks and throwing them in the trench here, and just kind of cleaning up. I've got piles of lumber. We took a load when I worked on this yesterday. This is day 2 that I've been working on the actual driveway. Let me show you it. And again, none of this is real film worthy, but here is what I've got. And then I'm going to get, I think I'll probably just leave it like this for now, let the rain come and kind of pack it in, and then get the skid steer to finish it up. It's still kind of got a little bit of a hump right here and somewhere in that area, but happy with the outcome. It's kind of hard because it's not really the right machine to do this, but it's what I have access to. So I'll turn the camera off and come out the other side. So here is the other side. To give context, here's the road. And this is a 10-inch culvert, which is probably a little bit undersized. But the problem I ran into, you can see how it's dipped there, and then it goes up at each end, is there is like a huge rock there, a big rock that I could not, we chipped it out as much as we could, but I couldn't get it down low enough, so that's as good as I could do. And I knew it was going to be that way. It'll drain just fine. I've kind of filled in both sides of it with big rocks a little bit, and then we'll pour gravel over the top of it and smooth it out, and that'll keep it. You're supposed to have 5 inches of gravel on top of that. I think I can probably get close to that, especially in the middle, and that's why I kind of dipped it down, which is still drained just fine. In fact, you look over here on this side of the road, they don't have any sort of pipe, so anything at all will probably do the job. There's so much rock. Here's what it looked like. It's just bedrock right there. There's a chain. But that rock is solid, and it goes all the way to there. My concern is they're going to have to drill under this road because the water is somewhere in that area. We've got to go under the road. I don't know how that works. I would imagine they'll probably start over there and drill this way. But it doesn't look like the same issue as here. I don't see any big, huge chunks of rock. It was a little concerning because I don't know where they'll come in at. I'll have to get them on site to kind of look at it. But this is the corner of my property, and so it makes sense to go probably maybe cut down some of those trees and go through here. And the trench, we just ran wild. Let me show you the trench. Power pole. I'm standing in the front yard, in front of the porch. And power goes that way. And then water, we kind of just went off this way. And then it'll probably go like that between those trees if I can. I'm not really sure. I need to get them on site to see what they suggest I do. The underwater or the underground driller people. Just a little bit of time. It's getting dark earlier, and so I think what I'm going to do is start working on these blocks. I started before and it wasn't going so well because I didn't really have the tools I need, and I still kind of don't. But I went and I ripped a bunch of 2x6s to height, and I think what I'll do is probably maybe cut all the blocks and mark them for the notch, and then maybe take them home and cut them with a jigsaw or something of that nature, because it's kind of a pain to do it because you've got to notch them out, you know. And so I'll probably just set up a camera and cut that real quick, hopefully. I realized that I actually can only do like 2 of these, so I'm going to do these 2 and then probably go home, which is lame, but just trying to get something done. We're actually got to go out of town for a few days this week, and so we'll see what I get done. I'm probably going to work tomorrow morning, and then that'll be it for a while.